The Manchester United captain, Harry Maguire, has been dropped from the England squad to face Iceland and Denmark next month after being found guilty of all charges following an altercation on the Greek island of Mykonos. The England manager, Gareth Southgate, said it was in the best interests of all parties. Maguire has, he was given a suspended 21-month prison sentence after being accused of assaulting a police officer and attempted bribery, along with his brother and a friend. He says he will appeal. Well, I'm joined now by football commentator Rob Palmer. Rob, good to see you. Thanks for coming on. So how much damage do you think this will do to Harry Maguire?
In the short term, maybe a little bit. Damages the Manchester United captain, damage that his private life's probably going to be hurt for maybe 2 or 3 weeks as the media chase him around. But in the long term, Manchester United captains have been in scrapes before. I think back in my Cub days as a reporter, I've been outside courtrooms where Roy Keane had maybe got into 1 or 2 problems and he went on to have a glorious Manchester United career. So I think it will be a blip ultimately in his career, but he's maybe got a few troubled days ahead of him as he tries to ride the media like he rides tackles when he's playing for England and Manchester United. And
just very briefly, you've interviewed him a few times. You know, a bit of an insight into his character. How do you think he'll be handling this?
I think he'll be a little bit embarrassed by it. He's the kind of character that goes on holiday with his sister and his friends and gets caught out at the end of a night, depending which side of the courtroom. But of all the footballers I've interviewed in the last 2 or 3 years, he's one of the last ones who would have expected to get into a scrape like this.
Interesting. Right, stay there, Rob. We're going to move on to a different footballer because there's another big football story developing. Argentina international Lionel Messi asking to leave the Spanish club Barcelona this summer. Now, Lionel Messi, one of the best players of all time. He's been at Barcelona forever. Can you really see him actually leaving?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? He's also resigned from the Argentinian national team on a number of occasions as well after every World Cup or Copa America, and he goes back and plays for Argentina. Is it a political statement? Is it an excuse to maybe get the presidential elections brought forward from the spring to the summer and to maybe sort the club out? They allowed or told Luis Suarez that he's going to be leaving the club yesterday. And then there's this argument that when does his contract have this clause in it? They said it should be the 31st of May. The club and anything now means that he goes for 700 million euros. They're saying that it's at the end of the season, which finishes on the 31st of August, so he could go for a free. Any club in the world would take Lionel Messi for a free, well, although they would have to pay the £1 million a week wages. But I think this is going to be decided rather than on a football pitch in a courtroom in several months' time.
It just shows a fall from grace. Barcelona, one of the greatest clubs, but they got hammered in a recent high-profile match. Things are not right there.
Yeah, they're thinking it's the low point when they lost against Bayern Munich by 8 goals to 2. For the last decade, there's a whole generation, last 2 decades, everybody, when I was a kid, they used to say playing like Brazil. This generation of football fans say play like Barcelona. They had the famed La Masia Academy where Messi came from. They've had the greatest players in the world, but they've allowed it to go stale. And this is a club that got 10,000 supporters a week just visiting the museum. Many clubs would love that for a football match on a Saturday afternoon. They were getting that 7 days a week, and it's all gone horribly wrong. And this is just one of many problems the club have got, but the biggest they've probably ever had in their history, losing arguably the greatest player in Barcelona Football Club's history, if it's true.
Rob, we're going to run out of time. Literally just a word, yes, no or maybe. Do you think Messi is going to leave?
No.
Okay, good. We've got it on tape. Thank you very much.